a more consistent play from him.
We got a video at the moment of Ragnarok at the moment. Is this going to be the first map? I have been given the maps. Ragnarok will be first, then Limbus, then Grim Dungeons. This map, though, is a new one. You done your homework, Jahar?
A little bit, yeah. I really love the style of it. I really like what some of the guys are pulling out. And actually, this was City who put this together, who has always been such a phenomenal mapper all the way back from the Quake 3 days, and he's just been nothing but consistent quality, both in visuals and layout. I really like the way this map is laid out. I've always had a problem with some TDM maps in that they're kind of samey in terms of how big each room is and how they connect to each other and how many entrances and exits they have.
Alex, you can tell the players to start when you're ready.
And I believe we can start at any moment. Am I to give this back? I've been granted the maps, and we have the intel, and I think we're going to be able to start in a moment. You guys are going to be able to see some really cool spec features in a second as well, which we finally managed to get ourselves into.
We didn't
Quake
get a
Live.
chance to show it off on Sunday, but
That's
now
true.
we can. Yeah.
We will be able to do it, and this, guys, is going to make watching it so much more fun as well, actually. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a test run as well for us to go through with it, as we're going to be able to control sort of the player cams much more easily, to be switching to the right player more consistently, being able to see everyone's health bar from the beginning.
So if he messes up, you know, no.
So yeah, it's all on me, guys. Again, all the hate directed my way if I manage to mess anything up.
I won't say I've orchestrated it that way, but
no. I mean, you just conveniently position yourself in that seat instead. So yeah, well played, sir. Well played. Damn you. But yeah, okay. Back to the game in hand. Though we're going into Ragnarok. I didn't actually see who picked which map, unfortunately. But I don't know how much practice the South Americans have had on it. But we're here, being able to see them a bit on camera. We never get to see them play as it is. Let's see if they can actually stand a fight. If their fighting skills are any good, if they're able to, if they have any chemistry going on, they can take control of rooms. You know, they're competent duelers. Their timing, their understanding is okay.
For sure. I mean, positioning is going to be such a huge. I mean, it's a large map, even for a TDM map. I mean, there isn't really, one huge atrium like Black Cathedral or something silly like that, where all the fights are going to be happening. You're going to see a lot of split up between these various atriums. Yeah, absolutely. And there's definitely the red armor room seems to be extremely important over here, then moving over into the algae. But our TDM is okay at best. I think we'll be able to broadcast some nice action and really and yell and shout every time some cool stuff's happening, because we've got some amazing players here who are just going to be pulling out the most ridiculous shots. We think that's impressive when they're playing online. When it's coming on LAN, I'm going to curse myself completely here, but I'm expecting some really crazy aim from some of these players, and that's not a pun on crazy. We'll have a look how he's playing. There's time for that.
Yeah, there's definitely time. But players should be raiding up very shortly. Pavel did manage to connect to the server, so I think he's just quickly running around, and we are going to be able to finally get ourselves into match number 1. If you want to know a bit more about the information as to the mercy limit, 100 frags after 10 minutes. So I wonder if we'll see that. It is round 1 after all, where
it's a big
extreme things are going to happen now.
Frags up.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be fun to get. I see more and more players starting to get ready, as I'm really looking forward to finally getting the matches kicked off. It's been horrible actually being able to watch all the players and then knowing I've still had to wait 12 hours since yesterday to get the game started, and I've been dying to get them started for ages.
Actually, and you were saying, you were wondering if these guys have had much practice on Purgatory. There's no reason not to, because we actually all voted for the maps. The map pool was sort of a democratic process.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
There's plenty of warning, plenty of knowledge of, hey, this is what we need to be practicing up. We're going to be playing 3 maps each round, so it's not like they could just toss the dump map each time. Yeah. So, yeah.
There's a nice little range as well in the TDM. I know that when I was casting with DDK at the Road to QuakeCon, we were talking about Ragnarok. It feels like a really fast map. After the small sample size of games we had on it, he felt that it was a lot of capable of rushing. When we saw Meltdown playing, it was very, very aggressive play style they used. It wasn't so much control the zone. It was more that just make sure that you're making the enemy team disappear from every controllable point of the map.
Exactly.
And they just go around absolutely everywhere, wrecking people.
There's no real place to reset in this map. You have to just kind of have to keep cycling the map.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing Latromi play as well. He's not been the sort of long-term pro, if you will, so he hasn't had buckets of LAN experience, but he's someone that when you're playing online, he is extremely strong, and Akula regards him as the most valuable asset in the team. So I'm hoping that he's going to be a big player, maybe a quad carrier, although what did seem to be cooler, getting most of the attention last time we saw them play.
Yeah.
But you know, he does that for himself. And
Right.
maybe we'll see if Cooler can do well in the duel as well.
Actually, I'm more curious to see if he's going to share that battle suit with anybody as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's I think what they'll hope to be going for. I'll start getting worried though if Deliberate Murder are picking up both of the power-ups. That's when I'm going to be gracefully upset for
there's no
the
cause.
CrazYs
I mean,
Cartel.
it's still round 1, and we're here to see. We're here to kind of gauge the CrazYs and see exactly how crazy they can get. But yeah, we're going to see these guys right up here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm also excited to see a lot of these spec features. We're just waiting for Doomsday and 421 now.
Yep, and then we'll be able to get in. I think there's a name which is in Cyrillic, so if you see that guy, that is actually going to be Pavel once we get in.
Good.
So just in case to sort of ease the confusion, in case there is any whatsoever. And because we can't actually predict what the next games are going to be at all until all the matches in round 1 are complete, it's going to be, we're going to have a short period of time to decide what game is going to be going to next. So looking forward to seeing what kind of interesting matchups there are going to be. Because we're just absolutely clueless of the way it's going to go out. The people who are getting like the 3-0 victories will go against the other people who've had the 3-0 victories, and so on and so forth. And after 4 rounds, we will determine today who will be the TDM victor.
And these guys are hardly getting any breaks during the games as well. I mean, we got like 15-minute breaks for each round, and there's so many games going on at once, and we've got our first one going on.
Let's do it, guys.
Here we go. Let's do this.
It looks like they started, guys. QuakeCon 2015 Tri-Master Tournament TDM discipline here. This is CrazYs Cartel versus Deliberate Murder, and actually, I'm on Crazy as we speak, and you can see these lovely spec features. He's got a teammate next to him, and actually, CrazYs Cartel are going to get the first couple of frags here.
Going to be a lot of MG sets so far as Crazy and crew are looking for weapons. Going to be getting back up over in the power armor room. And just a lot of MG sets. I mean, this is some very old school TDM already, but huge amount of shotgun work here and beautiful frags over on, I guess they're tagging them as 1 or 2, but Deliberate Murder. Yeah, Fortune managed to get a couple of frags there for his team just to help them get back in as quickly as possible. We know that Cooler's got a bit of a stack, so I might be able to go over to him now that Fortune seems to be getting frag after frag. We have got the power-up spawning in just 4 seconds, so this is where we'll see who will be able to go on to next. 421 got a good spawn, but he's got nothing really to work with here, so he's going to be easy bait, and we have RC going over for our power armor, and we've got quad in the hands of Doomsday, actually. I'm going to switch over to him. He's got 1 frag under his belt already. He's got shotgun and LT, which when you've got the quad is all you really need. He's got a little bit of armor to work with, but here comes the power armor, and that might be the end of that quad. There it is. And we've got, there's so much health left on Pavel as well, so there's definitely not the engagement that Doomsday really wanted. He should have been going around looking for the people who didn't have the power up, and we're going to be able to find Pavel picking up a couple more frags. It was a nice little start for CrazYs Cartel, but it doesn't seem like they were able to kind of hold on to it for very long. They just need to make sure they are not giving up that red room or giving up the mega time and time again. Pavel got a pretty tasty stack at the moment. Yeah, taking away that mega is going to be a good cause to go looking through these back alleys and looking to take down anybody and just kind of farm some frags. It's going to be making good use of it, and they've actually got a pretty good spread here. They're going to be able to take over this room. There's a lot of time before power-ups come back up, but now they're just going to be denying weapons and taking as many free frags as they can. Yep, and the 15 seconds till mega, they just let the CC player hang around. It's like, that item's not up for ages. We'll come back to it as soon as it's going to be up again. You could see that at least CC were trying to assess their way into the rooms, but with the lack of weaponry, it makes it really difficult. We've got Codito managing to get himself a frag, but they are starting to trail a little bit behind at the moment. They're really going to have to make sure that the next power-ups, they secure something along these lines. And right now, Deliberate Murder get whatever they like. It looks like Cooler's getting prepped up to take these power-ups as well. He's taken away all the megas, taken away quite a lot of the armor. He's not really in the middle of a lot of these fights, but he's just trying to hold on to this stack as long as he can and be ready for this power-up round. But it looks like he's finally getting whittled down to 3 health, and there he goes. That was a lot of preparation. This might actually give the CrazYs a little bit of an edge moving into our next minute. The amount of time it took Cooler to die as well. He was on 8 health, and his just dodge was absolutely crazy. I think he was just trying to disengage from those fights, but the CrazYs actually glomped onto him fairly effectively. But now we've got Pavel actually waiting for the quad. He's actually got the battlesuit at this point. We've once again got the quad in the hands of Crazy. They've been able to trade these items at the very least, but Crazy's only got shotgun. He's got a little bit of extra health, not a whole lot of armor. He needs to make good use of this and hunt down Pavel. Very beautiful shotgun blast as he comes up the jump pad, but can he hold on to this fight? They really want to kill him. They're trying to take him down. Oh my god, they got him. Well played, Crazy. Okay, but he's got so few resources. There's still just about under 10 seconds of the quad to go. He would like to get himself another kill, but it's dangerous at the moment, and he's going to get railed down by Fortune.
And we've got these player fobs on at the moment, actually, so you can actually... We're experimenting with this for the second, and this is a good game to do it. You can see when they're zooming in, but alternatively, you can see lots of different fob changes. So we'll see what we think about that as we run through this first series of matches. Zooming in with the LG. That's how fortunate Style is at the moment. Starting to feel a bit more comfortable.
That was actually a pretty good item round for the Crazy crew during that last setup. You know, they were able to take down the power armor carrier. They were able to keep that quad. Not able to get a whole lot out of that quad, but they certainly didn't lose a whole lot of frags in the meantime.
Yeah, I just think that CC don't have as much sort of map awareness at the moment as the Murder, and the Murder are able to focus on the timings of many of the weapons and multiple items, the red, the mega, and so on, keeping a track of a lot, which is just giving them all the resources they need to take part in all the fights. As something that CrazYs Cartel are struggling with a lot more at the moment. Fortune goes up the bounce pad and it's going to get taken down by Crazy.
And it really looks like, you know, Cooler and Pablo are doing a good job of, you know, grabbing a bit of stack and not really getting fully engaged in some of these fights. Oh my god, that rail. And just able to take away the last bits of damage as they just get MG cessed. And just avoiding a lot of that MG as well is going to keep them fairly well stacked up for these items. Oh man, Cooler's already going for the pummels here.
Let's see if we can switch over. It looks like Claudito's actually got a bit of a stack as he's manages to take down someone else, I think.
See if he can take down Pablo. Pablo's going to be a big gain here. He got 2 solid shots off with the SSG, but as items come up here pretty soon, we're going to see these guys get the grabs and hopefully go for a run. Doomsday's once again got his hands on the quad. Let's see if he can make good use of it.
He's actually got these jumps. Come on, Doomsday.
He's actually got lat
jump. We know you're better than this.
Pablo taken down. That's a gain at least. It's actually kind of Latrami's fault for not finding the quad carrier and taking him down. Here it comes. And that's going to be a shutdown quad. We got one quad frag out of that.
And the thing is, they need to be fighting for the battle suit a little bit more, but they don't have the resources, so they just settle on the quad going, oh, well, we're not going to die so much if we just hang around on the quad. But they don't really have the guns. They usually have a mega at best to work with, and it's just not enough resources when you're going against a battle suit who's got loads of weapons. Latromi on 5 health. He's got a bunch of weapons. Finally, TJX comes in and is able to get himself a kill.
We're seeing just a lot of really good prediction shots with the rails as well. I mean, we're seeing a lot of the CrazYs get stuck in a fight and just get railed off from a distance. So again, just the coordination coming out of 102 Deliberate Murder right now is just amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to check out Cooler a little bit, see what he can get up to. Is he trying to secure this red room? It's going to be up in around 10 seconds. Cooler's got a decent amount of weaponry. Let's just corpse frag just for the sake of it.
You know, Cooler's actually done the least damage in his team so far, but you can tell how much value CrazY's putting on him right now. They're just trying to hunt them down as much as possible, and I'm wondering if that's just a diversionary tactic. Hey, look at the big name, look at Cooler, try to take him down. And look at this, we've got 2-3 guys on him almost all the time. Otherwise, 102 is able to get some of these items for free.
But that's the wrong point of focus.
It really is,
players like Pavel and Latromi that you really want to be taking down a lot. I mean, those are the guys that are generally going to be doing the biggest damage for Deliberate Murder. Let's have a look. Latromi doesn't have a whole lot of resources, but still expect good things from him. Doomsday managing to get a kill, withstanding that battering and climb that little ladder over here.
Cooler's got a good amount of armor here as items are about to come up, but he goes down once again, so that leaves nobody without a huge amount of stack as we go into our next items. We got Doomsday with a bit of armor. Yeah, he's actually up to 100 armor with quad in hand, but where is that power armor? It's going to be in Latrami's hands once again. If he can just be kept off of the quad fight for a little bit. Nope, Doomsday's coming right in, wants to take him down, but that's going to take some work. Actually, that LG is so solid, and he's got lots of time, actually a decent amount of stack left to take down the entire team, maybe, but he's going to need some ammo as well here.
I was getting some weapons. What? Why? I'm so confused.
We need to go back to what you were saying about map awareness and being able to move gracefully from atrium to atrium and be able to make effective damage without getting, you know, stuck.
Did ECJX just do 100 damage to his teammate to kill Doomsday with the quad?
Yeah, they think they're playing quite well.
That was insane. I mean, ECJX maybe feeling a little bit on edge at the moment. You know, first the official LAN game here, playing among a lot of a huge international crowd, and I think that's something he'll regret doing, because actually that was a really nice run from Doomsday to begin with.
It was, yeah. He was able to take down Latram without a whole lot of damage taken, which freed him up to go on a run. And I thought it was going to be a decent rampage, but not so much.
Yeah, Doomsday was finding it difficult to get really close to the opponent, so I felt like he needed to show a little bit more haste, really, in order to get himself closer. ETJ is going to have a chance to redeem himself here as Pavel on the side. Doomsday will get the finishing blow, though, in the end.
That leaves both Cooler and 421 with a decent stack here. Cooler, again, is just sniping from the quarters. Every time I switch to him, he's just taking a long-range rail with a very oblique angle and just taking these fights for free, which keeps the stack up as well. So the minute they take their eyes off of him, if he's going to be on the quad or on the power shield, he's going to be very dangerous indeed.
ETJX committing a little bit too hard to that. He really needed to get himself the frag before he could get closer to the red armor. A huge gamble he took there. Currently, CC floating about 34 frags behind Deliberate Murder.
It's actually not too big of a spread here, all things considered.
Yeah, really, actually.
They've been holding their own during the item spawns as well.
Yeah, they're managing to pick up some frags. They're managing to really sort of assess quite well and group up and get some kills. Kidito gets a face rocket from Cooler as he flies through the air.
He's got stuck in the corner. He's
No
got nowhere to go. Oh, did he run out of LG?
Yeah, he was completely out. Cooler was so nearly dead, and Kidito, I can imagine him just screaming at his monitor. But in a nice way.
That was such an easy game as well. I mean, there was no need to lose that quad, but there it goes, and we're going to see this score expand quite a bit. Kidito is just trying to pummel off Cooler, not quite going to get it, trying to get some revenge, but he's going to need to wait a little bit longer for that.
Cooler's in trouble. He's going to switch away from the rail, deny the pickup. And he's going to go down happy with the amount of damage that he was able to do in those last fights. I mean, Deliberate Murder, not under any real threat at the moment. They should be able to comfortably warm up through this series, but you know, I'm wondering if we're going to go on through the next map. We've got Limbus, we have got Grim Dungeons, some slightly slower maps to move through. But to be fair, this Ragnarok right now has not been played as fast as I've seen it played in the past.
It's fast-ish. I would say, yeah.
At a stretch.
But no, you're right. We're not seeing a whole lot of just concerted movement through the map in order to kind of glomp down on some of these heavy carriers.
Pavel's got a nice stack at the moment. His weaponry is mediocre at best, but it's always nice to have the shotgun.
It's just
if anyone comes in,
now.
There we go.
It's going to be there for a little while. But it doesn't look like they're feeling a whole lot of pressure. We're seeing a lot of these 102 guys just able to kind of sit on an item or sit in an item area and not have to worry about getting much of an attack for a while. We're having, you know, Crazy and crew just on machine gun for a lot of this time, or shotgun at least.
Pavel just got absolutely shredded his thing. Crazy getting an easy frag. And that was quite a lot of weaponry that Pavel will throw away in Crazy. Lava, no, bad, that's bad.
Try not to do that.
But you can see the health, the exact health that each of the players have, guys, on the top left and right. You've got the player numbers and then you've got the exact health. So you should be able to tell who's got the mega and stuff.
Oh man, Letram was almost knocked off of that power shield, just not soon enough. And he's going to be able to run away with it. We've got Kidito once again on the quad. We're going to have to see if he can get far with it. But switching over to Latram, he's still got plenty to work with this power armor.
Yeah, Rockets should be fine, even with 67 health. That is nice to work with. The LG as well is going to get the full 100 cells go on. Tries to steal the red armor. Pavel takes it right in front of him, which is a good idea because he was under a lot of threat at that point. Direct rocket on Doomsday. Latromi dealing damage now as the power-up comes to an end. I really actually like what CC did. They had one player who was stacked, I think it was Crazy, just trying to jump in onto the battle suit to just get the steal. And to be honest, if he managed to get it,
another second and a half and he would have been there.
Yeah, exactly. But a big shame that, you know, that was almost a double power-up for them, in fact. I don't know if, you know, we've got enough for them to claw all the way back over the remaining 8 minutes, but, you know, they're strategizing as the game goes on. They're showing some nice competencies here, and I want to see more.
But we haven't really seen a quad go to Deliberate Murder just yet. I mean, this map is large enough that you really maybe need to focus on one, but maybe you've seen this map more than I have. It's common to see.
Battlesuit's the focus generally. If the guys can get on the battlesuit, they're like, all right, quad's going to have a hard time taking it down.
And so far, that's definitely been the case. Deliberate Murder has been able to take down that quad fairly effectively almost every single run. We might see that change if Crazy and crew are able to, you know, not only stack up their quad runner, but kind of keep him cordoned off as well, allow him to kind of move through the map safely, and maybe take down somebody else while Battlesuit's being taken care of elsewhere.
That's a huge amount of damage all of a sudden from Doomsday. Somebody feeling a little bit safe there where he absolutely wasn't. Kidito trying to get the damage down, 14 health left. Crazy now on the chase for the 50 health bubble. Gonna save Latromi a little bit. Let's go switch over to someone else possibly, but actually no, he's still under pressure. On one rail, one more. Oh, the lava!
Watch out for that lava, man. But look at this, taking these rails out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's really nice. Latromi!
Oh.
Poor man, poor man.
That means it's going to be Cooler on the Battlesuit this time around. 150 for him, and he doesn't really need to go anywhere. Oh my god, he's just running around with his gauntlet out. Crazy's got nothing to do here. He's going to try to will him down, but Cooler's actually going to get stuck, switch over to shotgun, and finally be able to take down Kidito. But we've got quad finally in the hands of Deliberate Murder. It's going to be 421 Oh man, this is going to be a Doomsday crew just tossing it around, taking down everybody.
A Doomsday crew?
Yeah, well.
Doomsday's crazy Cartel. Well,
they need to rename their clan, obviously. That's just a better name, really.
Yeah, that was nasty. I was going to compliment the CC players on having not given up a double power-up, but doing it late on in the game, that's not so bad. We have no idea what to expect of them this tournament. It's just absolutely impossible to tell. They're a bit of a mixed team, you know, 2 of them are from Argentina. I think there's like a Chilean and a Colombian as well.
Yep.
So there's a bunch of different guys. They haven't played together a very long time. They know each other well.
But their enthusiasm is perhaps making up for it.
They absolutely love it. They're so passionate about the game. I think that's something that's just unanimous among the South American community in particular.
Absolutely, but final 6 minutes here, guys. We're seeing this game start to run away from the crazy crew. We're seeing Deliberate Murder get it. Oh man, they might actually hit that mercy limit before too long. I wouldn't be too surprised. If they start taking away these quads as well, I mean, that's been the one saving grace for Crazy. So far, they haven't been able to lose that quad out too much. I mean, the quad dies, sure, it doesn't get too many frags under their belt, but they're preventing Deliberate Murder from getting too many ahead of them. That has changed over the course of the last couple runs. We're going to have to see if that continues.
Yep, absolutely. We've got 20 seconds now until the power-ups. Fortune kind of just securing the area at the moment. Really want to keep a hold of the battlesuit. No more threats at the moment. This yellow is going to be up in a couple of seconds actually before the power-up spawns. So if he can get stuff on a couple of extra resources, maybe Fortune will be allowed to have a go. So 4 Deliberate Murder players here, securing the area. I think the yellow was taking down enemy. Fortune was actually going to go in for a suicide run to see if he could steal away.
Everybody dies on that quad, but it's going to be a dead quad right off the bat. It's going to be a free power armor now for Pavel. He's going to be on the run. He's got plenty of armor here, and nobody's got any real weapons to hold off against him. So many crazy players died on the quad that this is just farming at this point.
You can see the Deliberate Murder players, they managed to pick up the battle suit, and they're like, okay, rush the quad. We've got a couple of seconds together to either do damage. You know, it's not super likely they could pick up the quad damage, but they could weaken them so much that the quad wouldn't even be in play, which is exactly what happened in the end. Pavel very low. He manages to drop a weapon. The Trommie going to be able to pick it up? No, he's going to give it over to Pavel again, who spawns nearby. The amount of damage they're being able to do with such low health.
Yeah.
Trommie wanting that 50 health bubble, Crazy putting on a bit of pressure.
Every time I look at Cooler, he's not really involved in many close-range fights. He's just kind of hanging back and just taking freebie shots. I mean, I know I called that out early in the game, but that hasn't really changed. I thought it was just a nice little thing he was going to be doing for a few minutes, but no, that's seeming to be his position.
Look at Doomsday stuff. It was 200, 100 for a second.
Or it was, but now he's kind of stuck here in the corner. He might get sussed on down. Cooler, I mean, he's going to be a clean target to take down. And we've actually got a few Deliberate Murder players down as we get closer to our armor spawn here. We're going to be able to take that at least. And they've been able to take away a few armors here at least. We got Cadito now, only 33 health, but he's got a YA at least. Trying to hold down the top of the map. Making good use of his rocks, able to take down Lockdown, which is decent at this point. Over on Pablo though, he's got that red and no real pressure on him other than Doomsday, but no, Doomsday is getting railed on down.
I'm trying to flick around, man. I'm getting used to these controls.
Yeah.
You're making me run crazy right now. We've got Pavel trying to secure this room. Oh, he's thinking, just going for a bit of style shots. Doomsday going to fall after a couple of rails. Let's have a look how Pavel's accuracy is doing. He's really struggled with the railgun. He hasn't had access to it for the entire game.
Yeah, Cooler's been a little bit greedy.
Yeah, but Pavel's not being able to really connect with the rails that well. His algae's been fine, his rockets have been excellent, but there we go, now he's starting to hit. He's been given some extra armor. ETJX, I'm going to have to skip back over to Pavel because he simply has so many resources. We should see a bit of a rampage of his own at this point.
And we have ETJX briefly on the quad, but yeah, you're right. Pavel right now on the battlesuit is going to be the one to watch as he looks for players. Oh, he's getting stuck in the corner. He's got 2-3 players against him, but it's going to take so much time to take him down that it allows the rest of the Deliberate Murder to come in and provide backup for Pavel.
Crazy actually did a considerable amount of damage there with the plasma on the battlesuit, which actually kind of saved his team a little bit. He sacrificed himself and prevented Pavel from just going in and getting 3 frags.
But on the same token, ETJX, you know, he was able to survive that entire round with the quad, but wasn't able to get much out of it.
Now, what do you think of the fact that Deliberate Murder, sure, they've got a 50 frag lead, but do you think you would expect them to mercy limit if they want to be a real threat in this tournament? What do you think?
Yep. Right now I'm wondering if that speaks more to Deliberate Murder's ability right now or to CrazYs. They've been playing fairly competently. I'm actually wondering, I mean, Cooler's not even moving right now. That's
oh really?
I mean, his net score is not positive. He's actually 3 frags in the hole.
Oh dear.
Make that 4. So I'm not sure what the implications of that are at this point.
Let's
really.
see if I can have a quick look. And his damage isn't terrible. He's tying with Fortune.
Yeah.
But it's Latromi who's doing 9.2k damage. And I did mention earlier, this guy is an absolute beast. Very valuable asset for Deliberate Murder, and he's definitely pulling the team through at this point through hard times.
So I'm just wondering if they just really haven't been, playing all their cards in this first round. They don't really seem all too worried overall.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe they're just not giving up all the info, all the strategy straight away. I mean, all the other teams are playing at the same time, so it's not like there'll be so many shoulders over their backs kind of writing down notes or anything. But they don't need to put 100% into it. There's going to be some intense games. They'll be playing 12 maps, really almost back-to-back to preserve the energy.
And for the first time here, we're actually seeing items get traded. We have the battlesuit in the hands of Crazy, or at least for a moment we did. And I feel like if they put more pressure on the battlesuit a little bit earlier on, I mean, they might have actually been able to get something out of that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an issue. They should have. Maybe that's just due to the fact they were losing control of the red room too quickly. They were allowing Deliberate Murder to really take control far too easily. They probably need to put more manpower in that. If you get yourself red control, you've got the armor, you've got yourself some rockets and stuff, and you can defend that battlesuit area. Otherwise, you just hope for the best. Hope that you're not going to delay the quad and they're going to try and rush you down and take a double power up. But definitely the lack of resources, I think, has been a massive problem for CC. And as we approach the final 50 seconds, we'll have a quick look at the scoreboard towards the end. But no mercy limit. CrazYs Cartel.
Yeah. They held their own.
No, it was a pleasure to watch them. I feel bad though for ETGX who managed to get that quad kill on Doomsday. That probably would have inched them like another 5-10 fights closer if Doomsday was able to get a really good run. But again, that sense of urgency. And you can see that Deliberate Murder, 9 battlesuits, 2 quads, and then they managed to get 1 battlesuit in the end on CrazYs Cartel, and much less 20 less red armors. Yeah. They were very even on the rest of the items.
Deliberate Murder had
red
armor just spread throughout their team almost all the time.
Yeah. And that's it. That's what, 20 red armors. That's 2,000.
I was really excited when I saw, that rush down to Latrom as it was going for the power armor. Again, it was just a handful of seconds. If they made that attack a little bit sooner, they could have at least denied or knocked him off into the lava.
I don't know if it's Crazy was going for the red armor, and the red armor is spawning dangerously close. But he was trying to sort of rocket jump and launch himself towards it. He had that sense of urgency. He knew he was, limited on time. And
City has put in a few elements in that map that are kind of easy to get hung up on. You have to be careful there.
Yeah?
Rocks and tight corners and things.
I mean, it's on the race map as well, so it's interesting to run around.
Yeah.
CG_red team.
Okay, let's see if I can do the blue team.
Yeah. So it looks like we're going to be